Good evening, everybody. So finally, I came up with my Turkish fragrances. Yes, these are all local Turkish fragrances. I have bought from my tour. I just finished about 3-4 days ago. I came back on last Friday afternoon, Bangladesh time. And I was there for 15 days, 15 amazing days. I have to mention that. And yeah, it was an amazing tour, very educational if you take education seriously. Yes, it was educational because I have visited so many archaeological sites and I have heard so many histories, so I consider it as a quite good educational tour, not only my vacation. At the same time, it was a luxury trip, a relaxing trip. No, I cannot say really relaxing trip because I was there for 15 days and I visited 7 cities. Yes, 7 cities, you just heard right. And I did travel by air, so the time was shrunk. For the travel time was shrunk, but traveling in plane during the pandemic, it requires some procedures which were quite tiring and quite frustrating. I hope you can understand once you pass the airport, and you will feel the vibe that so many checkings and so many times taking off your luggage, taking off your coats, because it was not a winter time, but it was a springtime as per the month, but it was still cold. And every time we were going through a checking, changing the plane, some of the places didn't have the direct flight. We had to go through via Istanbul. So yes, it was very tiring. Let's talk about the fragrances, keeping my frustration beside. So these are the fragrances, and I have bought them from many different places. So where did I bought them from? Let's start with this one. So this is, I hope you can see, what is it? This is from the House of Virgin Mary. I went it in Selçuk, Izmir. Izmir is a beachside city of Turkey, and probably it is one of the most popular and favorite city for the young people. It has quite a bit of European vibe, and probably Selçuk is a place one of my most favorite places, I would say. It's a beautiful city, very good, nice environment, and not really conservative, and food is good. Food was good, and we went to the Virgin Mary's place. It's called the House of Virgin Mary, and it is said that Mary was here before her last days. She came here for probably a couple of years. She stayed there. So there is a very small house, very small stone house, and inside there was not much stuff, only 2 or 3 prayer tables, some crockeries, not crockeries, kitchen pots and so. And there was a water stream. I had the water from there. My mother actually bought a bottle of water from there, the holy water, that's what they said. Surprisingly, I have drank from many places or in the free flow water in the Turkey, but Virgin Mary's House's water was a little bit sweet. I don't know, it was the psychological effect or something like that, but the water was quite tasty to me. So I bought this perfume, rollerball actually. Let me show you. It was 82 lira, and as you can see, I haven't used it much. It's new, and The smell is something you get in the, you know, it takes you back to the church. Very pure, very calming kind of scent it has. I will not use it very frequently, but I think it is a very good scent for meditation, or when you have too many chaotic thoughts in your mind. This is a scent you would love to have at that time to keep your mind a little bit cool and do the meditation. It's a great thing. It's basically, it's a very mix of white flower smell, very cooling, very calm smell. So this was the first one. Let's go for the second one. I'm not following any kind of numbers. So this one is the only one which I bought from a very general commercial store from Istanbul, which was very near to my hotel, and I really loved the smell. Surprisingly, it reminded me of Bleu de Chanel, of you know, the guy's perfume, most popular one. And this is a cologne. This is not a EDP, it's a cologne. I loved it. I don't remember how much it was, but I think it was it's 150 ml, probably. It's made in Turkey. By the way, all these are made in Turkey, all of it, whatever you see on the screen. Probably it was 40 lira or something like that. I bought it from very general store. So let's go for the second one, or no, this is the cologne. Let me finish the cologne first. This is an interesting one. I bought it from the Trabzon. Trabzon, actually on the way to Uzungul. Uzungul is the last spot of Trabzon, and it is called the Switzerland of Turkey. So I am badly butchered the pronunciation of Turkish words. So it said Altın Yaprak and Hamsi Kolonyası. Of course, it said Cologne, and this is the sardine fish. It's the most popular fish in Trabzon. Trabzon is beside the Black Sea, so it's written special. That is what attracted me, and basically the name of this fragrance is Anchovy Colon. But surprisingly, this is the cologne, and this is how it's used. This is how they use. It's so fresh. I should have bought two. It took me only 45 lira, and it's so refreshing. I was laughing because looking at the fish sign, and the name is Anchovy Colon. If you see the detail, it's a plastic bottle. So yes, I could bring some of it, but at that time I was not really at the situation where I can buy a lot of perfume or cologne, because we were already overweight with the luggage. We were three person and 4 luggages and couple of cabin luggages. So I didn't want to make more heavier, because that was the last spot of our travel. I don't know why it's written 60 degree actually. Anchovy Colon 60 degree. I have no idea why did they write it, but it is a beautiful. It's a very soothing. All the colognes kept here are all unisex. Anybody can use it, and very refreshing. This one I cannot explain, but this is also a very flowery kind of, wild kind of flowery. I have never smelled such kind of flower before, but I have a feeling this is probably a bit vibe of daisy. Probably. I may be wrong, but it smells like a bit vibe of that. And all these colognes are made from very, very common and very available notes of around whatever they have in around, because these are locally made. So these are cheap and also quite affordable. I mean, cheap and what do you call it? You can get access very easily. That kind of perfumes or colognes. That's why. So this is also another cologne I loved. There were so many. It was really difficult for me to pick, but this one I really loved and I had to pick it up. I got it from on the way to Uzungul, and I think it was actually a sweet shop, and I found it on somewhere very corner, and I was laughing at looking at the fish sign, and I was saying, really, they're selling anchovy smell? And when they opened it, I was like blown away with the smell. It's a very fresh, powdery kind of smell. If I want to be more specific, yes, it is smells more like powdery, not Baby Johnson powder, but powdery. Very sweet, very nice, light, airy cologne. I love it. So let's go for this one. So this one is an iconic one. I got it from Gourmet Museum, the Gourmet Museum shop. It is called Hagia Sophia or Hagia Sophia. I think it's the perfumes. It's a cologne too. It's not a EDP. It's a cologne, and all you need is the scent of Istanbul. It is so true for this perfume. I was quite shocked when I first smelled it. They have a couple of kind of perfumes like this. They named it on the popular monument of their country, and this was, I love this one. I had another one which I liked most, but you know, outside of the museum they were actually charging quite high. That's why I couldn't get the others. This will cost you, if you buy it from outside some store, if you can find it. I found it in only one store, usually outside of the museum store. In the museum store, it will cost you 221 lira, which is pretty expensive for a cologne. And the name is Hagia Sophia. I don't know the brand name. What is the brand name? Creation Naturally. I think the name is Creation Naturally. That's the brand name. So the Hagia Sophia is one of the wonder of the world. Of course, I have seen it. It's a wonderful architecture, an enchanting masterpiece of the architecture, a source of inspiration for the great Ottoman architect Mimar Sinan. Yes, I went to the Mimar Sinan cafe as well. That is another, I'll tell that story some other day. But the cafe was really breathtaking, which is just beside the Hagia Sophia. We had a cup of coffee over there. Mimar Sinan is the architect of Ottomans, one of the best architect. I think that he's the top architect because he designed all these architectures. The visitors of the glory, ancient times. Anyways, I don't want to go through the whole thing. So this is basically a sandalwood, patchouli, and amber scent. This is the bottle. This is a very nice, classy looking bottle, more like classic looking bottle. So this is a sandalwood, amber, patchouli scent. Now people can ask, does Istanbul smell like patchouli, sandalwood, and amber? Not exactly separately, but when you reach in a country, it will give you every country has a separate scent of its own. I felt, if I want to explain myself, I felt when I landed in Istanbul, it has a very soothing scent of classics that gives the vibe that you are somewhere very special. This perfume gave me that vibe. When I went inside the Hagia Sophia, or maybe in the Topkapi Palace, I felt I smelled similar kind of vibe. Not exactly the scent, but I had the similar kind of vibe. So let me see. Oh yes, very classic. So these kind of perfume, actually what you smell is actually classic, not exactly sandalwood, or not exactly patchouli, though this perfume is quite strong with the patchouli smell. I don't get the sandalwood much, because when patchouli is strong you don't get anything much, but it has the dry down effect and quite quite igniting smell due to the amber, and after some time it becomes cool and it becomes that classic old kind of smell. When you enter in an old or a legendary architecture, you'll get that smell. It is like that. I think I would prefer more this cologne to spray on my furnitures, that means my sofa or on my bed, and I would love to have a good night's sleep to put this on my bed probably, and it's a very calming one. All these perfumes are pretty calming kind of scent, soothing, calming kind of scent. So now let's go to the final two. So these two are quite special. There is nothing inside. I just took it. Hold on a second. So the first one is Black Orchid. There's nothing written. So where did I bought it from? If you have visited Istanbul, I think you can recognize this. Who haven't visited yet, they will know it immediately when you land in Istanbul. This is the Dolmabahce Palace. Dolmabahce Palace is the last palace of the Ottomans. They left in 1922. And this is quite modern than the Topkapi Palace, because it was used the very recent in 1922 last. And this palace is amazing. I mean, it is, to me, it's an example of how much money you can spend to make a palace like that, which once people, if they get in, they will remember forever. It was so nice but still modern, and the work on the ceilings, the marbles bought from Egypt, the bathrooms, and the chandeliers. Oh my god, I've seen a chandelier which has 400 bulbs, which was bought from England. It's a humongous one. It is in the ceremonial room. If you go someday in the Dolmabahce Palace, please check it out. It's beautiful. So I bought it from the gift shop of the museum, or the Dolmabahce Palace. This is where their leader Kemal Atatürk was passed away, because that is also used as the presidential building as well. So this is where I bought it. Let me show you the scent itself. Oh, they made I bought the small size. It is I think it's 40 ml or something. Yes, this is no, it's 30 ml. I think it's 30 ml. I didn't check because I bought a lot of stuff from there, and I won't say the bottle is made very neat, but decent. This is Black Orchid. It smells, it gives me the vibe of airing lilac path, very green, very orchidy, and very deep and dark. I love this scent. I really feel bad because I didn't get the big bottle, because the big bottle will cost you something around 400 lira, which is absolutely crazy. People were buying, but I didn't think it deserved 400 lira. That's way too much. It's like looting money. If it was something around 200, probably I would have bought. But this is a beautiful smell, very green, very fresh. It gives me the vibe of Thailand or Bangkok's flower shop, because in Bangkok flower shop you will find everywhere the orchids, fresh orchids. It has the very fresh vibe of Orchid. The next one is probably everybody loved it in the shop. I remember everybody bought it. Like I bought it 2-piece. It's Oud Sandal Rose. The packaging they did very basic, I will say, because the perfume brand name is Nazin, is their local one, Nazin Istanbul, and that is how they put the sticker on. And I actually found this thing only in the Dolmabahce Palace, because I went to the market but I couldn't find anything like that outside. And I think they just supplied this one in the Dolmabahce Palace gift shop so that people actually buy this from there. Because until unless you get inside the palace, you won't get reach to the gift shop. So you'll get it only over there. So I feel still sorry. And it is also beautiful. It's a sandalwood oud rosy perfume. Very nice, very soothing. This is sweet. This is absolutely a sweet one and very nice calming one. So what is my suggestion for you for Turkish fragrances? Turkish fragrances are very different from what we use in the commercial kind of perfumes. They're very different, but they're beautiful. They're beautifully created, and most of it I didn't find it loud, but more calming, more soothing, more like a spa kind of smell, and I loved it. This one is a little bit louder than all this one, but it's amazing. So if you go to Istanbul someday, or maybe any other places in Turkey, you will definitely find some fragrances. Don't miss them, buy them. Maybe you need to negotiate a little bit if you have a chance to negotiate. Don't miss them. So thank you so much. If you like my video, please give a like, share, and comment. Of course, if you have any question, I'll try to answer them. And if you're new, please subscribe. I'll get back with more. Thank you.